So, Jonathan, thank you very much for joining me on this little chat we're going to be doing today. A little bit on work-life balance and exploring how you've sort of live your life and work between a professional life and also doing musical composition and sort of exploring those sort of aspects of your life as well. So, do you want to introduce yourself and perhaps let's go from there?
Yeah, sure. And thanks for having me on, Robin. So yeah, my name is Jonathan Mills. I work at Deloitte, where I've worked for about 6 years, and I specialise in equity capital markets, which is helping companies list on the London Stock Exchange. So it's a kind of all-encompassing career. But alongside that, as Robin mentioned, I've got a real passion for music, and in the last year or so, I've started releasing kind of proper produced music. So I released an EP last year in 2019, and actually just during lockdown, I've just released a new track, kind of inspired by the lockdown itself. I guess for context for the viewers, Robin and I, we know each other from having been trustees on a charity a couple of years ago, and have just kept in touch and got kind of mutual interests in the subject of mental health. And so I think, Robin, that's why you thought it'd be an interesting conversation for us to have.
Yeah, because I think the thing is, obviously with lockdown, people have been sitting a lot more. I mean, we're looking, and we've talked a little bit preparing for this chat about, the physical health and mental health and how you can balance your whole day as a project. It's not, it's not being a separate person at different times. Maybe could you just explore that a bit, how you sort of balance your whole day from waking to sleep?
Yeah, no, it's something I've thought about a lot, and I guess I've stopped compartmentalizing different parts of my life, and I guess I see myself as being in a number of fields. So as I mentioned, the world of accountancy is one area that I'm in, and music as well. And so I try not to distinguish too much, and I see the day as, I guess, as one opportunity to pursue the interests in all of those different areas. So thinking about a normal work day, clearly I'm at the office normally from about 8 until I'll probably get home about 7 in the evening. So as part of that day, I try and take time out to invest in myself and in my mind. So I start the day relatively early, and I try and meditate probably about 6 o'clock in the morning, just to kind of clear my mind and calm my brain down. Just an opportunity to switch off. I then normally give myself 20 minutes or half an hour just to play my piano. Thankfully, I've got an electric one, so I don't have to disturb the neighbours. Can put it through headphones, and then go into the day, fresh and kind of I've already achieved something, which is a good feeling. And then throughout the day, I'm just trying to give myself opportunities to switch off. So something as silly as I actively go for a coffee, and I have a coffee in the coffee shop, and just take 2 or 3 minutes even just to stand and watch the world go by, and those kind of moments to switch the computer off, as it were, are kind of real valuable points in my day. And I guess that's how I kind of remain productive and remain fresh, to try and achieve all the different things that I'm working on.
Yeah, that sounds great. I mean, I know that certainly talking to patients of mine before lockdown, a lot of people don't find that balance, and actually in lockdown people have had to force their heads to do different things in different ways. But you were sort of planning that ahead of time and actually had a plan to somehow look after yourself within that work-life balance zone, I think, from what you're saying.
I think that's right, although I found it really hard actually, because the structure that I just talked about, I've lost. So actually, being in the same place all day, every day has been really hard. And so kind of separating different chunks of the day is very difficult. But yeah, I can imagine you've seen that a lot with your patients.
Yeah, no, we do. And also, I think we've started to get a lot of people with shoulder and neck pain and arm pains because of all the sitting and computer work. I mean, I think that's quite a common. I don't know if that's something you've noticed during your some weeks off, or not off, but work.
Oh, I didn't realise I would miss a proper office chair so much. I'm in the process of buying one now because I've had so much back pain. So yeah, I can definitely see that.
So it does happen, yeah. Okay, and so, I mean, looking a little bit further on, I mean, there was also that kind of feeling that music or ideas for music might sort of come from the situation you've been in, either in work, stresses, strains, whatever before, and now during lockdown. So actually some of the music, as you've said, has actually started to come out of how you're feeling now. It's how you're feeling really that's developing the music. Is that fair to say? Or
I think that's right. Yeah, I think there are two things. The first thing is, as a composer, your job is to let your brain do its work.
Yeah.
So I see my role as listening to as much music as I possibly can, and then when I sit down at the piano, just trying to let that out, whatever it is inside. So actually having that time and space in lockdown has just forced me to spend more time and allow more music to come out, which has been great. The second thing was that I just decided that I was going to record something, and one thing I've really missed during lockdown is live music, and so I just decided I was going to record something live, and it was inspired by the Cologne concert, which was by Keith Jarrett a long time ago, and he just sits down at a piano and plays, and it's about 40 minutes long, but my piece is 10 minutes, but it was just there improvised, and I was trying to kind of reproduce that kind of rawness of a live performance. So yeah, I released that a couple of weeks ago, which was exciting.
I think one thing that's come out quite a lot now is about obviously post-lockdown exercise. Lots of people have been exercising or trying to and increasing their walking. But the other part is also the mindfulness of what you're doing versus going to the gym, and perhaps once that opens and people can start again or go back to the gym, it's not beating the equipment to pieces, almost like in the frustration of letting it all out. Because injury, that's what I've seen in lots of people. They end up injuring themselves by overdoing it in their zeal to kind of pull together their mind and body back into some level of calm, in a sense. So you've done this quite a different way, and you're still doing some exercise as well. You were saying to me the other day.
I'm doing some, although I have to admit I did a stretching session yesterday, which was my first in a while, and I'd lost all flexibility, just felt horrible.
Right.
So it's definitely something that you need to invest in over a long period of time, as I'm sure you know, and it's just so easy not to without that kind of the formality, I guess, of going to a gym.
And can I ask you just to perhaps round up a little bit? I mean, in terms of your company, you mentioned you work for Deloitte and you've been with them for some years. Are they quite supportive about this flexible arrangement of working and your lifestyle and things? Is that something that you find works for you within that environment or within that frame?
Yeah, I'm incredibly lucky, actually. The term agile working is very frequently used at Deloitte, and it's encouraged. So I'm lucky on that front under normal circumstances, but also under lockdown, we were already geared up for everyone working remotely anyway. So yeah, I'm incredibly lucky that I can balance all of these things, and I sit on various committees and things, and often they'll take place during or just after work hours. So the kind of flexibility that I've got with working at Deloitte is fantastic, and I think they realise that mental health is important, and so when I spend some time playing the piano or spend some time talking to you, I see that as an investment in me, and ultimately I'll be more productive for Deloitte. So I feel that that's a positive thing to be doing.
That's really good to hear. What we'll do, by the way, and thank you so much for having a chat about all these things. I think it'd be useful for lots of people, I think, whether they're playing music or making music or listening to music or working and want to find balance. So I think we're going to put a link into this video with some of your music, online, so people can access it and have a listen. And at least that gives them a chance to sort of hear what you're about in another way, as well as hear how you explain and how you explore life and work-life balance, really, in principle. So
yeah, definitely
that's great. Well, thank you very much. Keep well, and we'll speak again soon, I hope.
Thanks, Robin. Thanks for having me.
Thanks.